O John Kukahiko ke kane o Kamaka ka wahine. Noho pulao I honua ula hanau ia o Moloa Kukahiko he wahine. O Moloa Kukahiko ka wahine o John Auveloa ke kane. Noho pulao I Makena. Hanau ia o Mary Auveloa he wahine. O Mary Auveloa ka wahine o David Kalawai Nui Nakoa ke kane. Noho pulao I Kueva. Hanau ia o Alfred Kalawai Nui Nakoa he kane. O Alfred Kalawai Nui Nakoa ke kane o Violet Ho'okano Kiha. Ka wahine noho pulao I Pi'ihana. Hanau ia o Edna Leinani Nakoa. O Thomas Kumukoa Pahukoa ke kane o Mariana ke papa wai Manono. Ka wahine noho pulao I Ke'anai. Hanau ia o Esther Pahukoa he wahine. O Esther Pahukoa ka wahine o Thomas Bissen ke kane. Noho pulao I Paia. Hanau ia o Richard Thomas Bissen Sr. O Richard Bissen Sr. o ke kane o Edna Leinani Nakoa ka wahine noho pulao I Kahului. Hanau o Richard Thomas Bissen Jr. o Vau. E ola. Mahalo nui loa to the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement under the leadership of Kuhio Lewis for bringing this year's convention to Maui. We are so very grateful for the unconditional support from Kuhio, from CNHA, as they were among the very first, along with Hawaii Community Foundation, to bring us and offer us resources and guidance. They not only help us now in our time of great need, but have also led the way for many, many others to follow. As you've already known, they brought this CNHA Kako'o Center to our island. They created the very successful host family program that supports families that are taking in survivors of the wildfire disaster. And without any hesitation, as Kuyo said 47 days ago, boldly moved this 22nd annual convention here to the MAC. And that was to encourage our people to attend and also to stimulate our economy. And since we're at it, I'm also going to give them credit for bringing the rain that we so desperately needed up country as well, since they brought everything else. Please take the time to visit the 56 vendors, the 40 folks that are here for the job fair, and the many resources that are available from the nonprofit community, our federal and our state agencies. CNHA, along with countless others, including many of you who are sitting here today, have embraced our kaiaulu in profound ways. We are indeed humbled and deeply grateful for your unconditional aloha. You know, as Kanaka and as people of Hawaii, we come to know unconditional love from our ohana, yeah? Our kupuna, our makua, our keiki. But that also includes our Hanai families. And in this crisis that we're facing today, it's as if Maui has been Hanai by the world, with love, with care, with prayers of comfort and support, resources, expertise, donations pouring in from across our Pai'aina and our Honua. So my paternal grandfather, Alfred Nakoa, who's from Kakuloa, and my maternal grandmother, Esther Pahukoa of Ke'anai, two obviously remote villages here on Maui, instilled and inspired in our ohana the values that they, as part of a bit diminishing numbers of full-blooded Native Hawaiians, knew. As pig farmers in Pihana, kalo farmers in Ke'anai and Kahakuloa, the lives my grandparents lived were simple and rooted in sustenance for their own families and for those around them. As Native people, our oral tradition has taught us to be guided by a deep respect for our people, our aina, our customs and traditions. Our kupuna led us by wisdom gained from a lifetime of experiences passed down from old to young, mindful of a future yet to come for 7 generations beyond themselves. My wife, Ka'ihi, who's here today, someplace, and I are proud grandparents of our grandsons Lalakea, Naluwahi, and Kilinahi, whose future like the future of all of your grandchildren, we hope will include sitting in the shades of trees we will plant today and whose shade we may never experience. Those trees will grow where we plant them to shade our next generation, mau a mau. As a son of Maui, my three sisters and I learned from our parents, Edna and Richard, both military veterans, that discipline, duty, and honor play a role in how we live our lives. So I find myself reflecting on those lessons from my parents and my grandparents as our community navigates these uncharted waters. In this pivotal time, acknowledging and having faith in traditional and ancestral knowledge gives us a unique perspective and, in fact, an advantage. Because we know that our ancestors have navigated tumultuous waters before, using only the ocean currents and the stars above them for their guidance, and that they have succeeded. I share my family's history with you only to pledge that my commitment to our people and places during this recovery is steeped in knowing who I am, where I come from, and who I serve, you folks, combined with a profound sense of kuleana. So our island, our community, our people are simultaneously making history as we are living through it. The loss, the pain, and the hardship that crisis and disaster has brought to us these past 3 months has also made stronger our resolve. Unimaginable tragedy will change forever those affected, just as the landscape is dramatically changed following a lava flow. What we know, though, is that even as once fertile, lush, vibrant life is covered, there will come a time where growth will come through, where roots unseen below the hard terrain will find those cracks, reach for the sunlight, the air, and the open space. We call that kipuka. We are in this time of kipuka. The random and unexpected acts of kindness and heroism and the shared sacrifices being made. The thousands of volunteers that have come from every part of Maui, Kauai, Oahu, and Mokuo Ke'awe, and across the country. The donations from those who gave, and the contributions of food and supplies from many agencies and organizations. Strangers helping strangers, new friends sprouting from those, are all testaments to kipuka. When I took office 11 months ago, I spoke at my inauguration about bringing forward a seat at the table for all. That, with me and my administration, will be a lauhala mat, because not all discussions happen at traditional tables or buildings. At the start of my term, a lauhala mat was laid out in front of the county building for an aha'ava ceremony with members of my cabinet to commit our intention to serve our community. Our lauhala mat has traveled through our Holomua Kako initiative to Molokai, Lanai, Hana, connecting and meeting in great numbers with our remote communities. We took our teams to Kipahulu and Kaupo as we dealt with the Alalele rockfall that isolated East Maui for months. Today, our lauhala mat sits in the communities of Kula and Lahaina. Our government's role is to find all available resources, to connect those resources to address our community's needs, to make the decisions that will have the greatest impact, and to keep you informed on what is happening. I know that we can strive to do better in all of those areas. Now, I don't know what the future holds for us, but I do know that that road will not be smooth. It will be long. It will be filled with challenges and obstacles. We will have disagreements. We will have triumphs, big and small. We will have sweat. We will have tears of sadness, tears of joy. We know that even the longest journey, however, begins with that first step. And we can take that step together and help us to put back unity into community. Despite all that we face, we will be defined by how we persevered and how we rose up stronger to help the next generation thrive. The blessings of aloha we are gifted with each and every day, your extraordinary courage, and the strength of our collective mana will be our story. Aloha, ke kahi, ke kahi. So I've been thinking about this since August 9th and haven't quite made my way entirely through this mele. I grew up listening to this in a different time, sort of as a hapahaole hula song. But this is how I hear it now. And if I'm not able to finish this song, maybe you guys can help me. I am going to the island of the valley, to Lahaina, Lahaina Luna, where the mountains are green. You will find me in Lahaina, Lahaina Luna. They say that Maui no Kauai, and I agree that Maui no Kauai is the only place for we. That's where you'll find me, down by the seaside, watching the moonlight, the twinkling starlight, the morning sunrise, the golden sunset in Lahaina, Lahaina Luna, in Lahaina, Lahaina Luna. Mahalo, Maui.
Mahalo. Mahalo, the Honorable Mayor Richard Bissen. Mahalo.